26 minutes after the hour here on Fox and Friends. Turning to this, DHS sending its own agents on the ground in Minnesota, conducting an investigation into the massive fraud, all on taxpayer dime. Nearly 100 people now charged, and Attorney General Pam Bondi warning that more arrests are expected soon.
Our next guest is pointing blame at the lieutenant governor running against him to be U.S. Senator of Minnesota. GOP candidate David Hand joins us now. David, this has become a scandal that the entire country is focused on, and your opponent in this Minnesota Senate race, Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, recently appeared in a video where she is wearing a hijab, despite the fact that she is a devout Catholic, apparently, and she seems to be apologizing to the Somali population there in Minnesota for the scandal and for bringing them into the scandal to any extent. Now, we should point out we invited the lieutenant governor on today, but she declined and sent a statement saying the lieutenant governor has repeatedly said it's unconscionable that people are stealing from taxpayers and that they should absolutely be prosecuted for fraud to the full extent of the law. As she runs for the U.S. Senate, she's also focused on the fraud and corruption in Washington under Trump, where guardrails have been dismantled and oversight has been weakened. So, David, what do you say to all of that?
Well, I think it's unbelievable. We used to be the land of 10,000 lakes. Now we've become the land of 10,000 frauds, and it looks like we're now in the land of make-believe. The lieutenant governor is a candidate for the United States Senate, and she's out pretending to be a Somali, which makes absolutely no sense at all. But the fact is that the real problem in Minnesota is the governor and lieutenant governor who've overseen massive amounts of fraud by pretending to help people with tax dollars and then hiring criminals to steal that money. They need to be thrown out.
So the governor of your state, Tim Walz, he's kind of all over the map in response to this scandal. He's saying, oh, yes, it's terrible, and we're going to get all over it. We have a long history of fighting fraud, which clearly isn't true given the results, but he's at least trying to make that statement. But then he's also saying, well, it's not really billions. We think it's a lot less than that. Oh, and by the way, the Republicans have nothing else to run on, so they're just attacking me. Oh, by the way, this seems a little racist as well. What do you make of that hodgepodge from the governor?
Well, it just doesn't make any sense at all. They clearly had a responsibility, both Governor Walz and Lieutenant Governor Flanagan, to make sure the laws got administered correctly, and they didn't do that. We've had all this federal money coming in for supposedly to help people, and none of it has gone to help anybody. It's just disappeared, and they have complete responsibility for that. It's shameful that they have let that happen. They've taken no responsibility. Nobody in the administration has been fired or lost their job. And to say that they've been focused on fraud is just not true. They've been focused on handing out money is what they've been focused on.
And David, listen, obviously you're running for that Senate seat in your state there, Minnesota. What is your message to Minnesotans? What is it that you want them to know from your perspective as you're seeking out this seat?
Well, I think that in Minnesota, we've seen this massive fraud and this other failure on the part of the Democrats who run the state. We can't afford to send radical leftist politicians like Peggy Flanagan or Angie Craig to Washington to oversee the spending of federal dollars. It just doesn't make any sense. So my focus is going to be on making sure that we've got a good set of laws that are going to be administered properly, and we want to support the president and his administration. The Democrats in Minnesota have done nothing but obstruct this administration, and the administration needs allies in Washington to work with them, and the people in Minnesota expect that. That's our message. That's what we're going to run on, and that's what we're going to win with.
All right, David Hand, thank you very much for your time this morning.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.